This next storyteller, I want y'all to make as much energy as you did at the top of the show for the back half of the show. Y'all keep it going for Amber, y'all.
But which left? Okay. So I grew up in a small town in eastern Connecticut where the most popular pastimes were farming and football. And I started out in high school freshman year as this quiet, nerdy girl. Didn't make much, didn't call too much attention to myself. Just studied a lot and was a good girl. And then by my senior year of high school, I was one of the school freaks. I had cut off my hair, dyed it. I wore solely thrift store bought ill-fitting clothes and oversized band t-shirts. And I drove this 1979 Pontiac Grand Le Mans, which we had called the Beast because it looked a lot like the big car in that Sabotage video by the Beastie Boys. And so, not only was I one of the few brown people, I was the only Filipino person in my town. And I stuck out like a sore thumb. Needless to say, the boys were not clamoring to date me. Then word got out that a foreign exchange student was coming to town from Sweden. And I got it in my head. I was like imagining this tall, blonde, blue-eyed Scandinavian, and I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to make a great impression on this guy. And so it turned out that I had an in because he was staying. His host family was a family that was very good friends of mine. I actually went to church with them every Sunday, so I was like, okay, youth group. We're going to get some Bible study on. So then, I assumed though that he was going to be I was going to be competing with a lot of other girls in school. There's the homecoming queens and the pageant, the cheerleaders and everything. I was like, there's no way I can compete with these girls. So, and then that first weekend that he came to town, he got invited to a big party with all the popular people, and I was like, that's it. He's one of them now. And then that Monday, he came to school with a black eye. And it turned out that at this party, there are these two guys named the Shawns, and it was Sean S-E-A-N and Sean S-H-A-W-N, and they were like BFF football players, and they were apparently threatened by Henrik's pretty boy good looks, and punched him in the face, then pushed him down the stairs. So that, he was like, maybe the popular kids aren't where I want to hang out. So then he ended up hanging out with me and my friends a lot. And we would just, hang out at my house because my dad usually wasn't home because he was out playing with his band or with his girlfriend or something. So we'd just be hanging out at my house listening to obscure punk rock bands like Butt Trumpet. And then we'd drive to the big city, like New London, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, just really hitting the big city. And we'd just either go to shows or we'd go to raves or we'd just walk around, and we were just always like out getting into trouble. Not really. We weren't getting into any trouble. We were just there, thinking that we were cool because we were in the big city. And one time we were driving home, and it was like me and my 3 girlfriends and Henrik, and we're driving back from the big city, and it's like a long dark road, and we're the only car on the road. It's late at night. It's like 11 or something, and this car comes up behind us, and then the car goes to pass, and I'm like, okay, they're just gonna pass, cool. But then when the car sort of slows down and stays at the same speed as us, and I'm like, what's this car doing? And I look over, and the interior light is on inside the car, and the guy is jerking off while he's driving. And we screamed, and we sped away, and that was one of the adventures that we had. Another adventure that we had was we went to see, my favorite band at the time was 311, and so we went to see 311, and No Doubt was supposed to be there too, but they canceled because Bradley died, R.I.P. So they were too heartbroken to play Providence, Rhode Island. So, but 311 played still, and it was a really great show. I got felt up by a really hot Filipino guy who wasn't related to me, which is bonus because all the Filipino guys that lived where I lived were related to me. And so that was a very memorable moment for me. And then, so the school year, is coming to a close, and, prom is looming, and as I said, the local boys were not very interested in me. I had to go to Providence and find a non-related Filipino person to feel me up. So I didn't have a lot of choices. There was 2 guys that I was obsessed with who did not reciprocate my feelings. They lived in different towns or different states. And then there's this one guy that I had picked up at a coffee shop and made out with him afterwards. And I was like, oh, maybe he'll go to prom with me. And so I called him up, and he was like, no, I got a girlfriend now. I was like, damn it. So I didn't have any prospects for the prom. So I decided I was thrift store shopping, as I did, and I found this dress, and it was just this perfect dress. It was blue, and it had this Spanish flair to it. It had ruffles on the sleeves, and it was an empire waist, and it fit me perfectly, and it was only $8 or something, and I was like, okay, well, this is my prom dress. I don't have a date, but I can still go to prom. I'll go by myself. I'll be my own date to prom. So I bought the dress, and then a few weeks before prom, Henrik and I are hanging out after school, and he's smoking a cigarette because he is very European and cool that way. And he's like, yeah, so do you want to go to the prom? And I'm like, I was surprised that he didn't have a date to the prom. I know, the Sean's sort of tried to scare people away from him, but he was a very good-looking boy. So I was surprised, and I was like, sure, let's go to prom together. So then he was super game for me to dress him up in, I don't know what look I was going for, but I got him we went to a thrift store. I got him a dark blue suit with a green button-up shirt, a light blue vest, and red suspenders. Because I thought that this was going to just look great next to my Spanish flavored dress. So he was a good sport about it. But then the day before prom was the senior class trip. And Henrik had decided to make things really fun that morning by drinking a full pint of blackberry brandy, because I guess that's the only alcohol he could get his hands on. And so he drank the entire pint before 7:30 a.m. and then stumbled onto the bus with everybody else and promptly yacked all over the Sean's backpacks. Yeah. So, sweet revenge, yes, but it got him suspended from school, and therefore he could not go to prom. So I was yet again flying solo for prom, but that's okay because that's what I had already planned to do. And, now I can do my own thing, and I don't have to be tied down to a man for the whole 5 hours that prom happens. But he was a good sport, and he dressed up in this ridiculous outfit that I made him buy, and we took pictures and everything. But then when I went to the prom, he had a yellow tie, and I took the yellow tie to the prom with me, and this is the picture that I took at prom. That's me with this tie, and so I learned that night that sometimes it's okay to be just a girl.